Assalamualaikum and good greetings. So in the previous video I have stated why I'm doing this, and we have watched one video of a person claiming to be an ex-Muslim and now a Christian. Now this will be the second video of the same nature, titled Why I Left Islam for Christ, Ali's Story. So the name is Ali, I believe, and I think without further ado, let's watch this video.
Last year we had some fellows come out from Leading the Way. When they were out, they had the opportunity to meet with a fella here in Orange County who was from the Middle East named Ali.
I was born in a Islamic influence environment. That revolution happened in Iran, and Islamic republic took over the country, basically. When I came to the United States...
So he is from Iran, I believe, from the story, and perhaps the name Ali should have hinted that, but not every Ali is from Shia background. But anyway,
I did not pursue any religions, and I was not interested in going after one and study about one.
And when he first met me, he had told me he's never setting foot in a church. And he explained to me why, because of his childhood and how he had seen so much turmoil in his country because of religion. And I said, I understand that.
Wait, is he originally a Muslim or not? Because the way he mentioned that he is not interested in religion.
However, there's a different way to believe in God.
When I met my wife at work, and when she talked about Christianity and Jesus to me, she's so confident and strong about her opinions that she does not need to lie. The reason...
What does that mean? In what comparison? Because he's confident, she is confident that she does not need to lie. What does it mean? What religion teach to lie?
And she doesn't need to lie because she is connected to the truth. I love that about her, and I wanted to get to know her more. I basically owe everything to her.
And so after we got married, it had been a couple of months, and I said, okay, I think it's time that we find a church. And he had begun to really open up throughout our relationship.
I saw that this might be something that can be a life-changing experience for me.
And Ali was kind of teetering. He was coming to a faith in Christ, but still questioning about his Muslim background. And coincidentally...
This is puzzling. He doesn't indicate that, because many story, like the previous one, like the previous video I did, normally they would emphasize that they come from a Muslim practicing family, etc. Right? In this case, it doesn't hint at that, and he mentioned that something like because of the turmoil, etc., he's not interested. And then when he's married, I think he's not yet a Christian based on the story, if I understand it correctly. But now I don't know, the preacher or something said because of Muslim background or something, identity. What does that mean?
Through a friend that I met at one of the Founders Weekends conference, were Tom and Cindy Majerski, and they were the ones that were ministering to Ali, and so they brought the team in. So
the clapping and singing, right? Because in the previous video, if you watch the previous video, perhaps yesterday, I did mention, because in the previous video they mentioned about prayer, and I did discuss a bit on what is exactly prayer when in Christianity, right? Is it the singing? Is it the holding hands, etc.? So if you have that answer, please do tell what does that constitute, and what is the equivalent to Islamic understanding? Is it glorifying God, which is zikr, or is it a type of praying, asking for something, which is dua, or is it an act of worship like salah, or what is it?
From Leading the Way to speak to this man, to kind of solidify his faith, to put it into context.
A member of my church introduced me to a member of Leading the Way, and I had some questions that he helped me answer.
And he had told me that he had been asking lots of questions, and that's what helped him come to realize the truth that there is. It's very possible that while there was a lot of factors that went into my husband's coming into faith with Christ, that was a tipping point for him.
After clarifying those questions, I went back to Michelle and I said I believe. I was baptized on April 23rd, 2019, and
so yeah, baptized. Because in one video, previous video, someone asked me, because it is about shahada, right? And a Christian asked me, what is a shahada? Is it similar to baptized? And because I do not know what is a baptized, what is it? And I'm assuming this video is a baptized practice, like he go into water. So what is it actually? Is it like a thing that is done for you to enter Christianity, or you know, cleanse your sin, or what? And yes, and anyone who understand this, please do tell, because I'm interested to know. And how does it come about, right? How Jesus teach this, how, etc.
I felt refreshed, renewed, reestablished, and it was completely a different life since then.
I love it when you hear stories about how ministries have worked together, particularly with this instant with Ali. God's working on his heart, and he brought the right people in, the right organizations. It just gelled, and that's how that happens. And that's always an amazing thing for me to see.
All I do is ask, and he gives. Any questions that I have, one way or another, from a unexpected source, he provides the answer and provides the help.
So the fingers of what Leading the Way is doing is so amazing, because beyond what they're doing in the Middle East and Africa and Asia, even right here in our backyard, they're ministering, and people are coming to Christ.
So this is a promotion for an organization, is it? Okay, nothing wrong with that. It's just that because it keeps pushing in that direction, that yeah. But anyway, I think this is directed towards Christians, because it doesn't really address, maybe the title is clickbait or something, why I left Islam, because why I left Islam is not addressed at all to me. It is not being addressed, right? It's more of why I became Christian or something, right? So there's nothing much that I can comment on this video, because it doesn't, except for that he doesn't have, to begin with, because of the turmoil, etc., he really do not feel anything much about religion. So that is what I can pick from his story. Other than that, it's just from there on, from nothing to start with, and then finding someone that is very devout Christian, I believe, and from there on, right? I don't know what to say. Yeah, because there's no, of course, to speak in general, I think, okay, I will close this one. I think anyone who is totally lost, do not have anything to fall back to, right? When they find purpose, it does give a new life, whatever the purpose is, right? I remember this quote, I cannot remember the exact quote, but is it Flight of Phoenix or something? I'm not promoting to watch a movie here, but watching that movie, there's a scene where because is it the captain? I forgot the actual, but the kind of leader there that is preventing some initiative to be done for the plane, etc., right? And then there's a dialogue that if you, what is that exactly? If you cannot give people hope, at least give them something to do, because there's a hierarchy of things, right? I forgot the quote, but this is an interesting quote, because when I heard that, wow, because that's the minimum thing that can bring out people from despair, right? If you Meaning, if you're totally lost, then you will be, meaning your mind will be like, you will be out of your mind, right? As a human, we have to have something to, as a vision, right? Otherwise, regardless of, because we see this all around, right? Regardless of the status, the wealth, the amount of money people have, but if they are lost in their life without any real purpose, their life is miserable, right? There's a lot of I think I do not need to elaborate much, but their life is miserable inside. It is miserable, right? Compared to anyone who have clear purpose, regardless of that purpose is the truth or not. I believe, right? Because if I see those who are in mission from any religion, because they have it gives them drive, and then they know what they want, right? So that's the minimum that I think human have to have, because without that, the life will be just some miserable thing to go over and over and over again, right? Even those who are chasing wealth, that's perhaps they think that is their purpose, right? Of course, in the long run, many of those are not sustainable, because if your goal, your purpose, so-called purpose, is something very temporary, it doesn't give you the sustainability throughout your life, or if you believe in afterlife, you know, the sustainable purpose, etc., right? Yeah, so perhaps that's how he feel his life become more meaningful than before, right? So I think many people that go into any religion or any movement, etc., they can have that feeling, right? It doesn't mean that it necessarily is correct, truth, etc. It just means that your life has more meaning now, and you know, it can energize you. Of course, in terms of, if you believe that this world is temporary and there will be judgment day, there's a creator, etc., that is not sufficient, right? So even if I myself brought up as a Muslim and have a purpose there, someone being brought up as a Christian, devout Christian, and have a purpose there, Buddhists have a purpose there, whatever, Scientology, I don't know, have a purpose there, it does give us something rather than nothing. But we still, because if you actually believe Scientology, then they do not believe perhaps, but if you totally believe that this is the world is temporary, there's a creator and there's something after this life, then we have to find out what is the truth, right? With that, thank you for watching. See you next time.